Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the back nine of the second round of the 2021 Shelly Sharpe Memorial presented by Spinners on the Green. Terry Miller, the disc golf guy, along with G to the O. That's Gary O. And G.O., we saw some sweet action. Looks like Anthony and Drew are trying to pull away with this, but Levi has other thoughts as we head into this back nine and out to the furthest point on the course.
Yeah, these guys are definitely battling for, they want to, it's moving day. They want the top spot, or at least they want to be, within a stroke or two of each other. They want to put themselves in a position here to take home the trophy, prize, the money, all of it.
Yeah, I think Spinners might be giving away a car this year. Don't hold them legally.
Is it a Matchbox car?
That's a little bit low out of Garrett, but it does roll out, and it should put him in a better position, at least. If you're short and on this right side, that's when I think you're in trouble. Anything that's straight out or maybe a little bit on the left kind of opens up your options. And that's a good-looking shot there.
Yeah, that I was not expecting.
Him to throw it all the way past you and then some?
Not with an air shot. I've seen shots rollers get down there in the past, but I can't say I can recall ever seeing an air shot that far. At least not in person.
A good-looking turnover there by Garrett. It's going to be short. And you can see the disc up to the right. That's actually Anthony, so...
And is that Drew Gibson throwing a sidearm?
Yeah, there was a comment made about it before he did so, as that gets a nasty roll outside the circle.
I know that can happen to anybody, but do you think that's why he doesn't throw sidearms? Like,
he's not quite as comfortable as AB, that's for sure. But we'll see if AB can improve on what we just saw from Drew.
Man, he was in a rough position, but he makes it look easy.
Certainly does. And this is...
Yeah, anytime you're throwing last and doing that, he wasn't too happy out of his hand, but that wasn't the worst.
Yeah, it's got to be a little bit disappointing, though. He did get it that close at one point to the pin, and then it just decided to get up and roll away. Okay, that sits down. I was going to say, I just assume every disc is going to roll away from the pin here.
That's I think that's the general rule of thumb. If it hits a hill, it's gonna roll. At least here at Vista del Camino. I know they have. I think at the Masters Cup at Dela, when you hit the basket and roll, or what is it? You get Delad.
Yeah.
Is there
you get Vista'd?
Yeah, is that a thing?
I don't know, but what's a thing is Drew Gibson just strolling in that long range birdie.
Yeah, that was a monster putt. He's not happy with that. Let's face it, who's happy with a dinger off the band?
Solid putt there by Garrett. AB just chilling. Went to drop in the easy birdie, so Drew had to work for it a little bit more, but he maintains the one-stroke advantage over AB. And now we're going to take a trip back, almost exactly 1 mile from here, back to the starting point, and hole number 11, 759 feet of that mile, with OB on the left and the right, and a couple of Mando trees.
I think today this hole probably played a little bit easier. It was a really calm day compared to yesterday. I think players are probably a lot more comfortable trying to attack it. I was thinking that when I was down there, that there was very little to almost, it just seemed like at times there was no wind at all.
Well, it does average over par on the day in the MPO division, 4.17. Gibson plays the high hyzer, trying to get it so that it kind of comes in and sticks a little bit. Of course, he got a little bit of a skip, but I think he's trying to take away some of that hard skip flare to the left by putting a little more angle on it.
Yeah, and he wound up a little probably more left than he'd want to be, but he knows what to do.
Nice flat shot by Garrett. Again, low with angle. That's going to flirt.
That's a lot more left than you want to be. He's going to be in a really tough position there to get up and down for, or to at least get the birdie here.
And even that Mando tree that we just saw Garrett go past, that was something that's been added in the last couple of years. Just trying to keep everyone from throwing over toward the sidewalk.
I guess bright note, he made the Mando.
I don't know if he's actually gotten past it yet still.
Well, he's in a better position.
He
to
is
make
in a
the
better
Mando.
position. And AB just putting this on edge.
I mean, he definitely put it on edge.
Yeah. Again, if that has a little less angle to it, it could hit the hillside and then skip way past. But it's coming in almost vertical.
It looked like Drew might have slipped a little bit there, possibly.
Yeah,
I know
well-
he wasn't. That didn't really seem like. That seemed like a little easier shot for him than the way he played it.
I would be interested to hear his thought process on that, even that angle at all. I was fully expecting a similar shot to what we just saw from AB. Him
Sure.
just to kind of go up and over everything, play the power hyzer. I was kind of surprised to see him go with that low shot in the first place. He's got a little half run.
Yeah, he knows after watching a couple discs roll away on the hill, he definitely did not want to hit that hill or hit the basket and roll away. There's not much of a angle there, but there is enough for if a disc hits it the right way, it's going to stand up and it's going to go out of bounds. So he's just taking the safe play there. I think AB is this where he ties it up. It's 15-15 now.
Yeah, AB, one of only 8 birdies in the MPO division here today. So, again, average 4.17, so over par, and just 8 birdies in the field, and AB, of course, being one of them. Thank you to all my Patreon subscribers. This footage would literally not be possible if you guys were not supporting me on Patreon. So maybe if you think of all that stimulus money is burning a hole in your pocket.
Hey, I think because of your Patreon supporters, I might be here in Arizona and not in Wisconsin. So if you guys want to, there's a couple more Arizona tournaments coming up. There's still a lot more winter.
Don't get this twisted. This is not the Gary Vacation to Arizona Fund either. It's what literally allows us to come here and work for you guys, and doing some work. We got AB, big forehand up the hillside. Wow.
That's good. He wanted all of that and a little bit more. He might have gotten a little too much, but he's safe. He's dry.
Yeah,
he's looking at birdie. Droop, that's a lot of safe, but I think he's playing the ground play there. He's going to get a good skip, and it's going to roll over. You know, he's safe.
Speaking of Rolos, are those one of your favorite chocolate caramel candies? Or do you
I
go
don't-
caramello?
Honestly, I'm not a big candy eater.
Okay,
like,
be quiet. Be quiet.
like,
That's enough out of you. This
I'm definitely more of a gummy candy kind of fella. So
You brought up Rolos. That's all I know. Good shot there by Levi. That's Garrett.
this is Levi. He went way wide, and he got all of that and a little bit more.
Well, I mean, we said it yesterday. You can go as long as you want here, because you probably can get up and down for the par. If you come up short and you land in the gunite or the water, you're for sure taking a bogey, almost for sure. So, and this is
He's
that's,
close.
Yeah, that's just how close he was to OB. So, cleared it. Remember, if any part of your disc is touching inbounds, you are considered in bounds per PDGA rules. Any part of your disc. Nice and calm day out here today, and
That's a heartbreaker right there. Like, that looked like it was maybe just a little bit left, but that was all chains. And it just spit out.
I'm thinking of calm, tranquility, peaceful, and then I think about how that could raise your blood pressure. Thinking you have that one cashed in, and it slips out. Garrett not having his best day out here. And AB says,
Him taking the lead.
yeah. Hi,
Just
Drew.
like that.
Like a little piece of that lead. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar? No? Okay. Give me
I
a
don't
break.
mind Kit Kat bars. Only like the little 2-packs that you get for Halloween.
Oh, yeah, those are cute.
Just like me.
Couple of tap-ins, and we're going to take, again, the lengthy walk that brings us back to hole 13.
We're 2/3 of the way done, and this one's a doozy.
Yeah. We saw some challenge here yesterday. AB hung it out a little too wide to the right, didn't make it back inbounds, re-tees to throw from there, and then parks the shot, giving himself a tap in for Jordan Castro. Had one of the few birdies on this hole on the course for the round, I should say.
Making that mistake today. He went wide, he went long, and it was darn near perfect.
Yeah,
Just a little bit far, right at circle's edge, but
yeah, and impressively enough, he's pin high. Because if you come up 30 feet short, you're kind of looking at a death putt with water right behind the basket. But he's actually pin high with the basket, so the water isn't directly behind it, so to speak. And Drew plays that low skip shot, also very effective. Not too far from where we just saw Anthony land, and two completely different shots.
and here we see Garrett. He went a little higher, and he's down there. He's set himself up for that par. I mean, I'd really hope he's not running that birdie, because that is a scary birdie from there.
Things are moving a little slow for him, so maybe it might be time for him to press the aggressive button.
I don't think this is the hole you want to press that button on. Not when you're winding up that short. Maybe if he was at circle's edge, I could see him running it, but
And that's
more the play.
Well, and there's really nothing else you can do there. That is a layup. I mean, anything but that is just not smart. So Garrett, however, is closer and not quite as much of an angle. Okay, yeah, that's still a bad angle.
Yeah.
What's he going to do? Gives it up. He gives that a bid, though.
That was a little half bid.
Yeah, and he was a full 55 or 60, a little bit longer than I even realized he was.
Yeah, AB's right, I think, right where you want to be. I mean, obviously he wants to be a little bit closer, but, he doesn't necessarily have all the water behind him, so, he's thinking he can give this a run. I don't know, maybe he thought a little too hard about that.
Shocking to see, because his putter has been seemingly spot on all round. And so as he's lining that up, that I'm thinking he's cashing that all day long. He's got some great momentum coming off of a number of birdies in a row, getting 10, 11, and 12.
Yeah, maybe he wants to keep it a competition. He doesn't want to get too far ahead.
Well, one stroke's not much, and
Oh, but he just gave 2.
yeah, just waiting and pouncing on it. Sorry, Jason Krieger. I think that's officially an Arizona trademark of yours. But Drew just says, yeah, the door of opportunity opens, and he walks right through it.
Yeah, and Garrett and Levi, they're just going to put in their pars, and they're going to walk away happy, and they're glad they didn't necessarily run it, because after watching AB go, they do not want to make that mistake.
Yeah, this being the third most difficult hole on the course relative to par, playing .32 above par.
Oh, and you know what Drew says? I'm sorry I had to take the lead from you, but I'll help you get your disc back.
Let me tell you about my best friend. Aw.
I didn't. I had to move to my next spot, but He also had to go get I think it was AB's mini. At least that's what he was getting there. He had to pull a mini out of the water. I don't know if that belonged to one of them or if that's just something he had seen.
Wow. Full retrieval on point. Hole 14, a par 4 before we get, 14 and 15 have par 4s. And again, this one seems to get tighter and tighter each year, pulling in the left side OB. A couple of Mandos, just trying to keep people away from the sidewalks. We'll see what Drew can do.
He looked like he may have slipped. I heard a lot of players talking just over the last couple of days about how slippery these tee pads are. And I mean, that's why they have I don't know what those things are, the little white things next to the...
Call those whiskers.
Whiskers.
You'll grow some someday.
I got some whiskers, buddy. Maybe not the beard, but I got a caterpillar growing underneath my nose.
I don't want to take that one any further. It's getting late here on a Saturday night. And big pull here. Let's see if that... Yeah, he does get the skip and a little bit of forward progress. That's a good shot.
Yeah, that hyzer shot, I feel like that is for sure the go-to shot with, you got Mando right off the tee. You got the Mando a little bit up on the left there. You just want to get around that. You don't want to pull an AB there.
And
hopefully that's not the wheels coming off a little bit, because I mean he was hot for a while.
I know he, was really frustrated with himself during the first round with hitting that tree here on this hole.
So that's just his tree, you're saying, hey?
Yeah, it seems like he's got a tree on 4 and a tree on 14. And a good correction from yesterday. He hung that forehand really wide yesterday and ultimately went out of bounds. And today puts it in a much better position.
Yeah, that was a really good throw from the distance he was at and what he was dealing with. Yeah, Levi's saying, I'm not going down without a fight here. He's putting that right inside the circle.
Number of Parcos. Now, I'm really shocked. There's typically been Mandos on one of those two trees. Usually it's the first one of the two. And after Drew threw that shot, I really kind of did a double take to myself, thinking, isn't there normally a Mando there? But
so you don't see that line getting played.
Yeah, you really don't. For good reason, in terms of safety. So I was a little bit surprised to see that. AB's trying to get back on track.
Yeah, he's thinking he's got that. I mean, that's a makeable putt for him. I don't know what happened there. He just didn't put it high enough. Was there maybe a little bit of a tailwind? It kind of dropped a little bit on him.
Seemed maybe like a lapse in concentration more than anything. I can't even give him a wind excuse in this one just because it is so calm. But
I'm just trying to help him out.
I know, and I'm not trying to rub salt in any wounds here, but it just seems like it was maybe just a lapse, and I think he's a little bit on tilt at the moment, and probably a little bit frustrated, especially after the great start he's had and hunting down and getting past Drew there for a moment. And it's not like he's out of contention or there's any big problems here, but knowing that he had Drew for birdie and expectedly toss it in there.
Yeah, extends his lead to 2 now, at least over AB.
Garrett. Little tap in action, hoping to get something started. Thanks to Huss Brewing for the support throughout this weekend. Hole 15, our last par 4. That fence line on the right can come into play and be out of bounds. And then, of course, you've got Mandos to navigate that you must stay to the right of. They're on the left side of the fairway. And then also, of course, the sidewalk along the left side and the sidewalk directly behind the basket all can come into play for out of bounds.
Yeah, and you almost think this first shot is not necessarily the trouble shot because it's fairly wide open in front of these players. Like they just want to get out there like Drew did and, put them in position to toss a hyzer up to get around any of the trees. There's quite a few guardian trees around this basket.
Yeah, they're trying to get as much distance as possible on this first tee shot. And I know that's going to, oh, really? But here it's just so much more crucial to where you're placing yourself for how much of a hyzer or if you can even get around the trees.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've seen a lot of rollers, and I feel like that's a play, and he just got lucky again, hitting that Mando tree, kicking him to the good side.
Yes.
Put him in a good position to get around that second Mando tree. Garrett here with an air shot. You see a lot of players doing this. He probably could have gotten a little more distance out of that if it wouldn't hit that, maybe a little bit lower. But, I mean, he's safe. He's put in position to get around the Mandos.
And
AB not happy with his last two holes. He wants to go big here. He makes it around the Mando, but
oh no.
Whew. If there was no Mandos there or that lake or anything in his way, he might have rolled all the way to the basket.
Yeah, looking for maybe a little assist from a turtle over there. I don't know. But, yeah,
local route.
he does, as you said, he made the Mando, but then, of course, went out of bounds. So we'll see what he's got for a little bit of work to do. And here's where I talk about the distance. Drew's able to throw a mid.
Just skip it right up there.
Yeah, into that basket. But you could be technically closer to the basket here on this left side, but your obstacles are that much tougher, even though Levi's making them look easy. If you're pinched up on that left side, no matter how far you throw, you're going to have a little bit more difficult of a shot. And this is...
There we go.
Out of his hand, I'm thinking that is textbook. That is exactly the perfect recovery shot for him to throw. And it just kind of seems like luck is either run out or it's taken a break.
It's been a couple of really long days. I know he's used to the sun and the Arizona weather, but maybe it's getting to him. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he's dehydrated. Maybe he's just hungry. Maybe he needs a Snickers. He really wanted that one. Now, Drew, a little bit lower, and he's doing the splits there.
Well, very few chains required, I should say. And Drew full extension with the yoga putt, and Levi matches. Great birdie.
He's definitely making a move here. He knows he hasn't necessarily scored probably as well as he'd like to the rest of the course. He knows he's only got a couple holes left, and he definitely doesn't think that this is out of reach yet. He's just going to keep playing hard.
Kind of surprisingly, this comes in as the second most difficult hole on the course, averaging 4.27 overall.
Wow.
Yeah, so picking up a birdie there is doing a little bit of work for sure, considering how tough it is. So we take a look at hole number 16. Also plays a little bit on the tougher side of the course, about 390 feet, slightly uphill, and then, one of those hillsides that we know can provide so much challenge and heartbreak.
Yeah, this hole's definitely a heartbreaker. And
could you imagine, having a disc roll away on you while you're playing and your girlfriend's breaking up with you? They'd have to rename it Heartbreak Hill.
that'd be
terrible.
I don't even want to think about it. My
right
heart
after
hurts.
your disc rolls into the water and you lose it. It'd be the trifecta.
I feel like we've seen that before in the past. Maybe minus the girlfriend breaking up. Maybe we didn't know that part, but
If you throw enough that roll away into the water, your girlfriend just might break up with you. Anyway,
I mean, I hear the disc golf girlfriends are all about they're all about rollaways, and I'm hoping you not having them. Now we saw a bunch of backhands here. I mean, that's those guys made the backhand look easy, and I don't know what AB was doing here, but I saw that come out of his hand, and I definitely did not see this coming. Like, it just literally skips up there. It threw it right in the ground. I don't know if that was a mistake that he got lucky on, or if that was what he meant to do. But
I'm going to call it and say that, he was definitely playing for the low skip shot, so to speak, but not that low. And due to the angle and the power that he's got, it still puts him in putting range, which is incredible. And
here we go. Talk about heartbreakers.
Oh, no. So sidewalk and beyond is out of bounds, so he'll take it from over there. He could have re-putt from where he previously was, but he liked that angle better.
I was thinking that. Yeah, maybe there was a little bit of nerves. You didn't want that to happen again, but me personally, I probably would have taken it from where from where I last had it. Maybe giving it a shot. But again, those are those shots you see roll away. Like
Yeah, anything that hits metal and then, can kind of plop down weird.
Mm-hmm. AB is not, he's definitely, the wheels have come off a little bit the last couple holes, so he really wanted that, but he should be happy that did not roll away.
And I feel like Drew, that very easily could have got on edge, after he's just a little bit right. That could have got on edge and then rolled down the hill. It's incredible to see the inconsistency of rollaways as to when they happen after someone's hit some kind of metal. Sliding something up under the basket intentionally, of course, you're trying to avoid some kind of disaster. But when it hits any metal and then comes down, it's just a flip of a coin or a roll of a coin. I don't think they roll coins in Vegas. That's got to be code for something.
Rolling coins?
Yeah. There's probably some. So there it is, folks. Here, leave it in the comments. What is your best interpretation of rolling coins? What would you associate that with? Try and keep it PG-13 or better, or worse. I don't know what the word is. PG-13 or safer. But if you were going to equate the saying rolling coins, how would you interpret that? That's what I want to hear in the comments.
I don't know if I'm eligible, but I might need to. I've got some interpretations.
All right,
maybe.
We're gonna have Gary to the O in the comments. You can't win a disc or a hat or a shirt, though.
I'm all right. Well, I'm all right with that. That's fine. Ooh, that's not what you want to do there, Garrett. This is such an easy hole, and just getting a little too much on it.
It's just an unfortunate bounce that carried him up and over, and that one's gonna check up for Barela. We've seen so many approaches throughout the years here.
Yeah, every one of them different. I feel like the basket has been moved, or there used to be more.
Well, there used to be a tree right
Okay.
in front of the basket many years ago. You're showing your age here, Gio. Garrett's got the uphill, trying to save his par. We saw Castro hit from here yesterday.
Oh, please stop. Just sit.
Seriously.
No. What a weird roll. That's
that's how the coins roll.
I was going to say, that's...
No? That's still not a thing? All right. But,
I think we're making a thing. At least Garrett is.
Oh, Garrett, that is...
I think he heard you in the future talking about rolling coins.
No, that is too bad. A little bit of frustration. Huge props to Garrett. Clearly not the day he had in the opening round. And a little bit of minor frustration that I feel like he internalized very well. I know a lot of players that would be kind of losing their mind and maybe disrupting a lot of people after having such a go out there today. So I do have to say, huge shout out to Garrett. And
one of our many pedestrians walking by.
Actually, that was Garrett.
Oh.
Garrett had just grabbed his stuff, and unfortunately, he didn't realize it. He had no idea his back was to Drew, and he had kind of accidentally just kind of walked right into Drew's lane there, or line of sight. And they were all good. So we move on to the final hole of the second round, just 19 holes of regulation golf to play. I'm not foreshadowing any kind of playoff on Sunday, like calling it 18 hours ahead, but
Playoffs.
yeah,
Playoffs.
we're not talking about the Packers here. So a couple of Mandos here to keep people off the sidewalk. Drew Gibson sitting on a little bit of a lead here, and we are watching the chase card on the scoring right now. No one is challenging Drew's lead at the moment, but
except for maybe Drew.
yeah,
You think that would just be a textbook hyzer, but he just threw it a little too far.
I think the mistake people can make here is if you pull it too far. Oh, come in. Oh, that finds the water. You think textbook hyzer, but you want to hang it out far enough to the right so that it doesn't find the water. And then too far right now leads to missing a Mando. So they have found a good way to make this hole a little bit more challenging, along with trying to keep people away from the sidewalk.
And I'm not even going to wait for that to land. That was turned over a little too much.
Yeah, and that is the wrong kind of field goal out here on playoff Saturday.
Yeah, I don't think Levi knew there were two Mandos. Well, maybe he did. But
I think he did. And Garrett
another wide one.
also clearing him. So a little bit of air, wind taken out of their sails as we're making our way to the green here.
Yeah, this is not the way any of these guys wanted to finish their rounds.
Levi's like, I'm going bowling. I give up disc golf. I'm just going to go bowling. No, you got three missed Mandos. The OB by Barela. Barela has a good look as he's almost pin high. He's got a good look here at saving his par. I think we saw that happen in the first round.
But he's got some real awkward footing there because I think from the meter in, they're still on the hill. So that's not an easy putt to make.
No, you can see that was, as I was watching it, thinking having your right plant foot kind of up above that much probably was really awkward, and that was the shortest routine I've ever seen by Barela. Certainly a little frustrated as he's going to close out. He sits at 14 under.
Yeah, we started with a star par. We had a star birdie in the middle, and I know we didn't want to see a star bogey to finish it out.
Yeah, I don't know if star bogey.
Is that a thing?
Well, I'm thinking about if that's somehow our rolled coins. Maybe not. All right, Garrett is tapping in. A little bit of a rough day out there as he gives a few back, and Anthony's going to try and make his retrieval. So, again, first and foremost, thank you to all the supporting sponsors. Of course, Spinners on the Green, First Light, Pete Ulibari, ProFlight, anyone that's helped out. Gary to the O for both camera action and for some edit and commentary. And here's what we see in our top 10 leading into the final round on Sunday. Thank you. Make sure you leave a comment, and maybe you can win something for free from the Disc Golf Guy. And thanks for supporting me via Patreon.
Have a good one, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, guys. Championship Sunday is coming, and so are the Ducks.
The rolled coins.